Hi, I'm Dr. Dawn, and today I want to bring you a video and we're going to talk about lifestyle implications and what the interplay is between lifestyle factors and hormonal balance. And as a chiropractic physician and faster way coach and a woman in her 50s, I can definitely tell you that it's been a road. And as we get older, it gets a little bit more difficult. You have to really pay attention to what you're eating. So let's talk about some nutrient deficiencies. Let's talk about thyroid. I see so many patients that come in on a regular basis and they talk about, or it's just a normal diagnosis to have Hashimoto's. Well, first, in my experience, when I have a patient or a faster way client that has Hashimoto's or any kind of thyroid issue, I strongly recommend eliminating gluten and dairy. They have done various studies that just show that these two foods are really not good for any kind of thyroid issue. So let's talk about T3 and T4. Let's talk about some of the micronutrients that are needed to drive these hormones. And the first one is iodine. And a lot of practitioners will recommend iodine for their patients, and especially with goiter or any kind of thyroid condition in that way. But just in general, iodine, selenium, and zinc are essential for the synthesis of thyroid hormones. And you want to eat an array of foods to be sure that you're getting these, but you can also take a supplement such as like fulvic or humic acid that contains all kinds of micronutrients to be sure that you're not having a deficiency of these minerals. So inadequate intake of these nutrients many times will lead to conditions like hypothyroidism or autoimmune Hashimoto's and suboptimal thyroid function. And when we have suboptimal thyroid function and we're entering into our years of menopause, or we even have perimenopause, or we're postmenopausal and we're really wanting to be as healthy and energetic as possible, we want to make sure that we have sufficient amounts of micronutrients to be able to drive the synthesis of the thyroid hormone. The second hormone that I want to speak of is insulin. And the nutrient deficiencies in the hormone insulin is magnesium, chromium, and vitamin D. They play important roles in insulin sensitivity and glucose metabolism. Deficiencies in these nutrients may contribute to insulin resistance and impaired blood sugar regulation, which can be really a problem as we age. And it seems to become an epidemic of prediabetes and insulin resistance. And a lot of women will complain about gaining weight in their midsection, and they've really found that when the more insulin sensitive you are, the more efficient your metabolism is going to be. So the next hormones that I really want to talk about are estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. And we don't realize that these are driven by vitamin B6, vitamin E, and zinc. And they're involved in the synthesis and metabolism of these hormones. Inadequate intake of these nutrients can really disrupt our hormonal balance, and it can contribute to reproductive health issues, menstrual irregularities, fertility problems. And I do believe that as we enter menopause, if we don't have optimal amounts of these nutrients, then we can have a great imbalance in our estrogen and progesterone. The next hormone is cortisol. So cortisol is our stress, and everybody thinks, oh, well, cortisol is always a bad thing, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. But we need adequate nutrition as far as vitamin C, magnesium, and B vitamins. B vitamins I always tell my patients they're your stress vitamins. You need to have B vitamins. I typically recommend that you take them in the morning because they do give you energy, and many times we're just not absorbing the nutrients, even if we're taking them in capsule form. So many times I'll recommend like sublingual liquid B vitamins, B12, Even vitamin D, I can recommend in that way. Magnesium, I typically recommend at night, but magnesium has been shown to be one of the most efficient minerals that we have. And most of my patients, I suggest they take a magnesium supplement. Vitamin C and B vitamins and magnesium are very important for adrenal gland function and cortisol production. Deficiencies in these may impair the body's ability to manage stress and regulate cortisol. And in this stressful world, it can be very difficult if we are not able to manage our stress properly. So make sure that you are getting adequate nutrition and possibly supplementation. The next hormone is growth hormone. And as a faster weight coach, most of my clients in this way want to build muscle. And nutrients such as arginine, glutamine, and vitamin D are involved in the regulation of growth hormone. And arginine and glutamine are amino acids that are part of the array of amino acids that we need to affect growth hormone levels and related to tissue repair and muscle growth. And maintaining our muscle is super important. I just read an article today that starting, I think, even at the age of 40, we start to lose our muscle as we go through the years. But that's why weight training and resistance training is so important. Nutrient deficiencies can also affect our satiety as well as our hunger. Leptin and ghrelin are two of those hormones, and you need adequate levels of vitamin A, vitamin D, as well as omega-3 fatty acids. So these are very important for leptin sensitivity and signaling. So when you have a nutrient deficiency that may disrupt leptin function, you may have a dysregulated appetite. You may be hungry all the time, and that could be a real problem as well. And it's also going to disrupt our energy. We're going to have imbalances. So the next and final hormone that we're going to talk about is melatonin. And melatonin has been much in the news, and it's been highly recommended, especially during the COVID time. That was one of the things that was recommended for sleep. But the nutrients like magnesium and vitamin B6 are involved in the synthesis of melatonin. So many times the dysregulation could just be caused from deficiencies of various minerals. So this is a hormone that regulates our sleep-wake cycles. An inadequate intake of these nutrients can affect our melatonin levels as well and cause sleep disruption. So I find that taking adequate amounts of magnesium for most of us, as long as it's getting absorbed, is very helpful for returning proper sleep patterns. And the reason that I have really zoned in on hormone regulation is because I've found that since going through menopause, that the more that I balance my nutrition and keep it at a really good level and learn how to create whole foods that are very healthy and balancing my protein, carbs, and fats, that my hormones are much more level and sleeping better than I did probably even in my late 40s. So I'm just bringing this information for you to help you as well. A lot of this information I wish even though I learned in school, I think that sometimes we forget the small things. So I just wanted to bring this to you, and this is just the beginning of what we're going to start talking about with hormone balance. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can also follow me on Instagram at Dr. Dawn Strickland. Have a great day.